Hey, thanks for watching another episode of Behind the Helmet. I am with a legendary diesel superstock puller who has an Alki tractor now too. We'll talk about that later. But I guess it is 2022. You can go both ways now, Ulmer.
After 40 years, you can do what you want.
Yeah. They don't even have to ask questions anymore. No. So, if you haven't figured out already, this is Mark Ulmer from Menlo, South Dakota. And Mark, I had no idea. I'm 46, and I always knew your name and followed you. But until we had you on the show, the Outlaw Show, I had no idea the amount of the Esden Lanes and the Robbie Russells, and I don't even know where. Normally, I know where to start, and I kind of have a plan. But this is one, Mark, where I'm just like, where do we even start? So I guess I want to start with family. Like look at the camera, like just say, pretend you got arrested. Last four of your social.
Get
the handcuffs out. But no, just who is Mark Ulmer? Tell us about your wife, your family, and then we'll get into pulling.
Yeah, well, Menlo, South Dakota, born and raised, and
whole life.
Okay. Yep. Did move off for a little bit, but been on the farm. Our farm, the farm I live on, I'm the 5th generation of it.
Okay.
So it's been in my family, the homesteaded ground and stuff. So it's been passed on.
So you farm?
I actually farm.
Okay. How many acres?
About 1,100.
Okay.
That's what we have row crop.
When do you sleep?
When you have to.
Okay, when you have to. That's a great answer. I like that.
And yeah, we used to be into pigs and cattle and all that good stuff, but I've gotten away from all that because didn't have time for that.
Right.
So I just crop farm now and stuff. And my wife is Cindy, and we have 2 children, Jessica and Tyler. Everybody knows Tyler.
Yes, they do. I met Jessica at Windsor.
Okay.
She's a teacher.
She is, no, she works
I met her
at home. Yeah. I don't even know what her job title is. It's with the medical field with computers.
Oh, that's right, coding and stuff.
Yep. And anyhow, then she has husband, Andrew, and we have 3 beautiful little girls. Gemma 10, Jada 8, and Jersey 6. So that's a handful. And they all got to come to Madison with me. So
they did?
Last weekend, yeah.
And you won?
And we ended up winning, yeah. So and then Tyler has a little boy, Henry, and he's spending time with him right now at home in Menlo, South Dakota. That's why he's not here today. So awesome. So anyhow, back to the roots of my family, my dad.
Yeah, so this is the Ulmer Mafia, like, what is it? Is it Ancestors.com or whatever?
Yeah.
Ulmer, we're going to get like, I actually wanted to get like a big piece of paper and do like a tree thing. They call it the Ulmer Mafia and then just break it down.
Yeah, my mom, Marvin and Betty, started all this mess.
Okay.
So, and I have an older brother, Curtis, is the oldest.
Okay.
I had a brother named Gary. Him and his boy, Alan, run the Mistress.
Yep.
Or, well, now it's Never Enough. The Alki Super.
Yep.
And then I have...
Now, do they work on like ATVs and UTVs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were snowmobile racers for a while.
So I met somebody this week in Illinois that says that Alan was a machine on us, like one of the fastest. Like nobody beat him. Is that accurate?
That was very accurate. Yeah, they were on Yamaha's race team.
Oh, wow.
And raced for Yamaha in the grass drag racing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what they did. Probably Holhauser.
It was.
A lot of parts, yeah.
No, I was down there. I met with them this week.
And then I have a sister, Cheryl. We call her Free Spirit because she floats around on a boat all winter long and stuff like that. She's retired.
Wow, where at?
In all of Mexico and anywhere somebody else.
Do you ever go down on the boat?
No, I don't. No, I ain't got time.
You got to work.
Yeah.
Farming and 19 pulling tractors to work on. So.
And then I have a younger sister, Lori.
Okay.
So I was the baby of the boys, and then 2 sisters. Wow. So there was 5 of us who grew up all by Menlo.
Okay.
And pretty much everybody lives by Menlo except my sister Cheryl.
The Free Spirit.
The Free Spirit. Yes.
Did you legally change your name or were you working on that?
No. One day I used to rent some land from her, and every time I would have to send her a 1099, it came back address unknown. So she got the name Free Spirit. So,
I like that.
But anyhow, yeah. So that's kind of the history of that. Kurt farms with his son-in-law and his kids. Me and Tyler. Tyler doesn't do much on the farm. He runs my machines for me in my shop. Okay. We have a couple CNCs. We have turning lathes, mills, and stuff like that. I'm an old manual miller. I'm a machinist. I grew up self-taught. I never went to school. Didn't have time for school. So
things to do.
Had things to do. So yeah, that's kind of how that all started. And Gary always had a machine shop, and now he's a rural mail carrier and runs a machine shop with Alan.
Oh, okay.
In town and works on snowmobiles and 4-wheelers and whatever they can work on.
So your shop, is it primarily performance pulling type, or is there some farm stuff in there?
There's farm stuff in there, but it's just in the way.
It's just. Alan said your shop is very full. That's what Alan told me.
It's passable. Yeah.
Passable.
Yes. I'm at the point where I'm actually thinking of getting car hoists so I can hoist the Ford and the weapon up in the corners and still work underneath it.
Like a stacker trailer?
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
But anyhow, yeah.
Figure it out.
Yeah, we probably don't have the best organization in our shop because I keep adding machines and I should be adding buildings.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, we stay quite busy with it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so now let's go back to how pulling started. So yeah, who started it all?
My dad.
Your dad.
My dad.
Okay, what was first pulling vehicle was what?
Besides the local little 1600 Oliver, we were Oliver raised.
Really?
Yep. And he bought a brand new 1950 T Oliver in '68, and it did get to go through spring, and then it got to the track at county fairs and stuff.
Was he always tinkering and making things go faster?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was kind of. I always called him the torch welder man.
The torch and welder man.
Yeah,
I like
because he was very good with all that, you know. And then us kids kind of took it to the next step with turning ways and machine equipment, stuff like that. But yeah, he was a tinker and all that. And I'll never forget. We went to a little pull at county fair over at Parker, South Dakota. County Fair.
Okay.
They had an outlaw pull a few years, but anyhow, I was 13. And I got to drive the 1950 T in like 10,000 pound class, I don't remember. And I took the lead when I pulled, you know, in third gear, like Dan Taylor.
Third gear.
Third gear. I took the lead, and a guy by the name of Jim Joffers was from Jefferson, South Dakota. Had a 190 XT Alice, and he went right down my track and beat me by 2 inches.
Oh.
And
that's back when they measured with sticks, string.
Yeah. And anyhow, I did get a second place trophy, and I still have it.
You do?
Yes, that was when I kept. And
they say if you kept all your trophies, you'd have to build another farm.
We'd have a Ulmer. Yeah. So. And then I told my dad on the way home. I said, you know, Dad, that's not going to happen. So,
I'm not getting beat.
No. And things went on from there. And he told me, he said, well, I don't care what you do, kid. I'll let you have that tractor in the spring and the fall. I mean, we need it in the spring and fall. We can have it through the summer.
Okay.
And but he said, there's one thing, that guy in Chicago is not getting my money. And anyhow, so if you can do it on your own, that's fine. And honestly, to this day, I really appreciate that. Because it's made me so much better of a puller and thinker and everything like that.
Well, I mean, everybody says if Ulmer can't figure it out, it can't be figured out.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
Well, no, but I mean, it's just that's a nice compliment to hear.
Oh, it is.
Because you're not going to Hypermax or Riverside or all the big names and stuff like that. You get
growing up, we did. No, we figured it out on our own. We worked a lot in the local little shops and stuff like that for fuel and air. But yeah, no, exactly. Now we have to buy some hyper parts.
Yeah, no, I meant, but it's not like you're not going for turnkey.
No, never have bought something.
I want to talk to that mod truck puller. They don't pull till the end of the night. He doesn't know I'm in. Oh, thank you, mod truck puller.
Yeah,
we got to hear Ulmer.
Yeah. So anyhow,
all right. So 50 Oliver, 1950 Oliver.
Yep.
13. So then we kind of went through high school, probably running that at the local fairs.
Yeah, actually my FFA senior project, I stripped it down, built a frame for it in the middle school in the A class.
That's amazing.
And they had a veterans class, and it was a welding class. So actually, a few of my neighbors that were veterans from, I don't know what, they were in their 50s probably at that time. They welded my frame together for me and stuff, a square tubing frame on that truck.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyhow, that's kind of how that all started. Yeah. So then in the summertime, I stripped it down to the 7,500 pound class, and we'd travel around South Dakota, Nebraska.
So would that have been NTPA region back then?
Yeah, some was. Yeah, but
what year would that have been, Mark, roughly?
74, 73.
So that was like the 55 to 75 to 95 super stock days?
Yeah. We couldn't get it down to 5,500, but we ran 75 to 95.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who were some people pulling then? Maybe some names that you running into back then?
Jim Schaefer.
Oh, yeah, okay.
We all know the Wampus cat, you know. The Yankees.
Yep.
Randy Yankee. We were pretty good friends, actually. Francis Argenbright.
Okay.
With the D21.
I recognize that name, yep.
Yeah. God, there was a whole pile of Nebraska John Deere's. Ron Johnson.
Yep.
There was another one from Westa that ran really good. Jack Carr.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the Lyle Nelsons and Lyle Wheatleys and all of them.
All the light supers that we have today.
Yeah, you might say we're 7,500 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is all with the Oliver still?
That would have been Oliver times, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we outgrew that. We all know Oliver's block and rods aren't no good, and they went flying a few times. So, so we took that one out. Then I did build a 270 white.
A 270 white?
In the 5,500 or 5,000.
So we went from the Oliver to that?
We stayed Oliver base, but it
But the white
270 hoods.
Okay.
Yeah. And that one didn't last either.
Now, was that diesel or was that
That
alcohol?
was diesel.
Diesel.
Yeah, we were all diesel. We had T-pump on it, twin chargers. Worked with Monsoon Farm Supply.
Okay.
And got parts from
How
him.
big? Do you remember how big the charger?
Yeah, we had a T06 on the bottom and a T1874 on top, and we thought we had something.
You thought you?
110 pounds of boost, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But anyhow, yeah. Now then, that one I sold to Phil Burkhardt.
Is any is that one still around? Like,
Yeah, it actually is.
Okay. Do you know what it's called today?
I don't know because he passed away from cancer.
Okay.
But Chuck Lee's tractor.
Chuck Lee?
They were fun. They were buddies.
Okay.
Stuff like that. And
We saw Chuck in Macon.
Yeah.
The high stepping, or
Yep.
he's got the left-hand drive.
Yeah. 686.
Yep.
Yeah. Then I started buying international.
Okay.
Yeah, I finally said, man, we got to go faster. And I buy a farm tractor, and we would salvage it out, accept what we need, put in what we need. So, and working with Lyle Nelson a lot, that started all that stuff. Built him a couple tractors.
So you started building tractors almost immediately then for other pullers.
Yeah.
So people recognized you as somebody that knew what he was doing.
Yeah, way back when.
Nice.
Yeah. And
when did you have time to get married and stuff like that?
that happened in September 16th. That's coming up pretty soon. Yeah.
Don't forget that, Ulmer.
In 1978.
Ooh.
So I've been
married a couple.
She's put up with me
a long time. She's going straight to heaven.
Yeah,
that's
she
the pearly
is.
gates. They're not going to stop her for the iPass.
I would agree with that. Yeah. But anyhow, yeah. So she was a farm girl from local Olivet. Her dad didn't like tractor pulling.
He didn't?
No, he said it was such a waste of money.
Such a waste of money. I don't think that's true.
No.
You can't put a price tag on happiness, Ulmer.
No. Just go around this pit area here where we're at, or you people right here. It would never happen.
No.
You know.
No.
Yeah. You know, your dad and me, we share a lot of stories and have a good time. But
yeah, a lot of those we can't put on camera.
No, there's a few we
but
might.
they make us all laugh.
Yeah.
They make us all laugh. So
then we went into internationals.
Yep. So what series was it like that?
966.
966.
Yeah.
Okay.
I started with a 966, and that had.
And the 66 series is always a 466 block, right?
Yeah, not necessarily.
Okay.
You know, we would work with the later blocks because there were certain ones that way back then you couldn't keep together either.
Really?
Yeah. Like a normal 1066 block wasn't the best.
Okay.
You push the bottom out of them, you know. So we kind of kept up with all that, and then we got to know Robbie Russell. Robbie was one of the first ones that we started messing with, and then when we.
So this is workhorse super stock days.
Yep.
Okay.
We've been early. Actually, his 966 he had.
Was it always white?
No.
No.
They were red. Every tractor was red until his 1066.
That was the workhorse white one.
Yeah,
That's the one I
that was
recommend.
right.
I remember.
Yep. Because I built his first 3688 sheet metal.
Okay.
That was red. And then I built his Magnum sheet metal.
Okay.
And that was red. And then his 1066 when him and Brett kind of got together.
Yep. Redbird.
Yeah. That one was white. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So as far as what I remember. So yeah. And in between that, I would buy tractors from people and stuff like that. Actually, the Goodland, Kansas area where Doug's from.
Yep.
Walt.
And we should give credit to the scrappy pulling team for letting us borrow the trailer here.
You bet. Yeah.
Do you feel like a winner sitting in here?
Oh, better than that.
Better than that.
Yeah, we're really gonna run tonight.
We're really gonna run tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe Doug could just touch the weapons and pistons that you burned.
Well, that weapon ain't coming out of the trailer tonight. But,
I understand.
But yeah, and then Walt Rohr had a tractor.
Okay.
And I ended up purchasing it from him, which ended up going to, I rebuilt it some. I bought it broke, rebuilt it, ran it for a summer, teased Goodwin pretty good.
Yes, you did?
Yeah, and then I sold it to Frank Standard.
Okay, I don't recognize that name.
Just for fun.
Okay.
It was called, he was a Region 3 champ.
All right.
And stuff. And you'll recognize the next name, he sold it to Lock and Load.
Yes, Birch.
That was Lock and Load's original cast drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And that actually started. There we go. Yeah, Scrappy Champions.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yep.
We're sitting in there, Scrappy Champion Parking.
Yep, we have to.
Did you have something to do with that, Ulmer?
No, I didn't.
I think Taylor Van Beek. This screams Taylor Van Beek.
Yeah, I heard it was somebody that's sitting beside me.
Oh, you heard it was the Schultz's, did you?
I heard that.
I don't know where a fellow would get something like this out here in Colorado.
It is pretty nice and shiny.
It is.
Yeah. And it's aluminum. It's my weight.
I like it.
Yeah. So then we worked on that, and in that time, we got to know like Middletons and Danny Dean and Blagraves and
All the big name pieces
Yeah.
of super pullers.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I actually built Blagraves when they put the Red Horse stance tractor into the 7,500 pound class. I built all the frame and everything for it and the hoods. And I actually had the blessing of being able to go down there. I spent 2 weeks
In
down there.
Ackerley, Texas?
In Ackerley, Texas with Stan and Carla and the kids. They were just little babies then.
Yeah.
And helped them put it together and work on it and stuff like that. Because we did the rear end housing, the frame, the hoods, and everything.
So I know this is a general question, but like how many Grand National or like Super Stock Champions tractors do you have your fingers in? Would you say 80% of them?
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay, no, I'm just curious because you use a lot of big names and you're humble,
Yeah.
but I want to get the story out about it.
I guess I should have kept track.
You should have kept track.
Yeah.
Well, it's not
I
like
should've
you're gonna
put-
oh, da, 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 da.
Yeah,
for your autobiography.
I can go down the list. Boxlers,
Yep.
got to know them real good, spend time with them in New York. Tommy Dickerson,
Yep.
yeah, Tommy never would.
Where did the mule go? The mule
I think
team.
it's in North Carolina, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think-
I haven't seen it out for a
Yeah.
while. So.
Then if you come east, what was the old groundhog? Tom Morsey.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a good time with him every once in a while. We all know Tom Morsey. But Middleton's,
Okay.
John Deere's,
Yep.
Warnrap.
Yes, my childhood hero.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, worked on did a few things for even a John Deere once in a while.
Yeah. Did that?
And
Do
Middleton.
you have to charge more for that?
No, actually, it was kind of fun because I had the privilege to say, that's my piece.
Yeah.
And anyhow, Danny Dean, got to know him real good. And come back this way, Brett and Esden.
Yep.
Bill Webb, well, remember Bill Webb maybe?
I don't.
Yeah, he was Esden's partner. We ran together for a while.
Okay.
Robbie, Gerald Grimes.
Yep.
Yeah, we all know Gerald. He had a little John Deere in the light super called the Varmint.
The Varmint. Yep.
Yeah.
They just won the light pros.
Yep.
This year for the Outlaws.
Yes, they did.
Yep.
We took it and redid its rear end housing and lightened it all up. And we actually had, I think it weighed 5,200 or something back then, and it actually had like 400 pounds of movable oil, which
That's a lot.
Bob Gansmer couldn't believe it. So anyhow, yeah, you can just go on and on.
No, I know. And that's the story I want people
Yeah.
to realize how much you've done for the sport of pulling market. I really want people to know that. So.
Yeah, and it mainly was drilling holes in cast iron, a lot of it, because I had the machines to do it and stuff like that.
Well, I remember my dad talking about hollow axles and
Yeah.
on his D21 and different things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Anything he could do to move some weight around. So.
Yeah, the first guys that they tried welding a tube onto the solid end of an axle, and it would last,
Right.
I remember so well. Why don't we just spline the tube?
Right.
And it's next thing, yeah.
Everybody was doing it.
Yeah,
Everybody was doing it. Okay, so where are we at with your tractors? The red one went out to Nebraska? Or no? What'd you say?
Actually, yeah, way back when in the 80s.
Okay.
Yeah, went to Frank Standard.
Yep. Yeah, so that's where let's keep going with your tractors that you own.
Then I built a Magnum that actually went, Kevin Lynn had it.
Really?
It was a 3688, a black one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's still around.
Now, that's
Light Limited Pro or Limited Pro or something.
that's
That black one?
Larson's, Tammy's brother.
The Super Farm?
The Black, no.
No,
Oh, Al
Cook.
Al Cook.
Cook.
It's a light pro now.
that was my old sheet. I built that sheet metal and all that tractor. I built a couple for Lyle Nelson
Yep.
down here in Nebraska. 1486 was his last one. I'm trying to think. Then in 92, actually me and Gerald Grimes built the first weapon.
Really?
Magnum. We were partners on it. And that is over in England.
Is it really?
Peter Clark bought it.
Okay, I recognize that name. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Red Alert. It's actually still running over
Yes,
there.
it is.
Right now.
That's an Alpine.
Now it's alcohol.
Yeah, it was diesel back then.
Over there as diesel. And
How many times have you been across the pond to help people?
He bought it. I took it to Louisville in 1996,
Okay.
and I never brought it back home.
You picked it up there?
Yeah, we left it at Ron Bogelmeyer's place in Fort Wayne,
I recognize that name.
Yeah, that's where me and Ezra would camp out.
Okay.
We used
Ulmer's?
his shop. Yeah, and he picked it up from there, went in the container, and went over to England from Louisville.
Wow.
And that summer, not that summer yet, he blew the rods out of her. So, and he claimed he couldn't find parts, so I took and loaded the suitcase up, which you could never do nowadays.
No, the 50-pound weight limit.
And I hauled camshaft lifters, rods, had a rod in each one of my shoes.
These are the kind of stories I love.
And landed at Heathrow over in England and spent about 10 days with Peter over there. And
You put the
motor back together. And I actually got to drive it at, I don't know, Liechtenstein or something.
Yep, Liechtenstein.
Yeah, some pole. And then we went to the Flevoland by Amsterdam,
Okay.
where the little boy put his finger in the dike.
Oh, okay.
That's an amusement park.
Okay.
And ran a Euro Cup
Really?
one session over there.
Nice.
Over there. Yeah. And he still has the tractor, and actually he's wanting to sell it. One day I messaged him about a year ago. I said, well, I'll give you what you gave me.
Yeah.
You know, and he said, when do you want it? And I said, well, we better slow down.
We'll be careful of it.
Yeah.
I talked to Mom about this.
But anyhow, yeah. So,
Was that a component yet at that
No,
time?
that's cast iron.
Still.
And it still is right now.
Good.
Yeah.
So it could technically fit out long.
It could, but it's overhead cam motor.
Okay, so it would not.
I couldn't fit into like the unlimited super class. And all
Right.
that. Yeah. But yeah, he had it. He had a lot of fun. He won, I think, 2 or 3 diesel Euro Cup championships with it. We caught them guys off guard,
Yeah.
bringing a 4-charger diesel from over here.
From the States.
Yeah,
Yep.
over there. But it didn't take them long to catch up. Yeah,
You're always chasing that one.
They have got stuff. So it's crazy. He lived 20 some miles from the Navistar plant. When I got over there, because he wanted me to bring baskets and weird stuff along, and I said, so we were driving around one day, he's showing me Europe, or England new, and I said, well, that's Navistar's plant right there. He goes, yeah, well, that's the same motor you got, you know, really? You know, and he goes, well, I know a guy that works there, you know, so in the back we go and he finds him and we start talking to him and yeah, he had it all in his back door, right there. And it turned out that Peter was a very savvy, very good Englishman. So, and at one time he was a very large farmer in England. I think he farmed hundreds of acres, which is unheard of over there.
Okay.
And he milked 100 cows, which was unheard of.
So he was a big deal.
He was a big deal in Europe, in England. Anyhow, he got to know the Navistar people, and they were intrigued by it. And my motor in 1997, the way I had it set up, I believe it would have been 97 or 98, went on Navistar's dyno back then. And they dynoed it, and it had 1,513 horsepower.
Wow.
And that was the highest horsepower motor they had on their dyno.
Yeah.
And,
Well, sure.
and that won a Euro Cup championship back then. And so now it doesn't, that had 4 turbos on it, you know, P pump, stuff like that. And now that isn't even a good super fun.
Nope, that's not. But that just shows how much time has changed.
Yeah.
So that's like the mid-90s, late 90s?
Yeah, 96.
Okay.
Yeah, 96, 97.
Yeah, that makes sense. So that's
Yeah.
kind of when roll cages, when Randy had his accident,
Yeah, Randy had his accident.
Toma, I feel like 96.
96, I believe
Yep.
that was. Yep.
I think the roll cages were mandatory next year.
Yeah, 97 or 98.
Yep.
Yep. Because we were talking about roll cages at Louisville that winter.
Yep.
And how to put it in, make them and all that stuff. Yep.
I'm sure you got to be part of like Richland and some of the safety stuff that's came along, haven't you?
Yeah, a little. Yes. Yep. Yeah, me and Larry.
Or at least just talking and getting
Yep.
ideas and sharing things.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, machine builder, drawbars.
Yep.
You know, stuff like that. Because everybody was welding the loop on the end or doing that, and it's like, why don't you just machine this out? You know, cool, I'll be damned. You know?
It works.
Yeah, it works. You know, it's stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, and SFI deal.
Yep.
Yeah, we did a lot of testing, local people stuff by spark testing, drilling it, and seeing what that all was. So yeah, so we always kept a good relationship with engineers.
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
Larry, and I've got utmost respect for him, and I think he has safety net.
He does.
Yeah, so,
I've asked him about it.
yeah.
He saw our interview that we did live with Ron that night. He thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
He said there was more stories too.
Oh yes, yeah, there might be a couple. Yeah. Another real good friend of mine, I mean, everybody knows him, was Jerry Van Dorp.
Yep.
I built his
Screaming Demon.
Screaming Demon. I built his rear end when he went to the 7,500 pound.
Okay.
And it was just classic because we all know Max Simpson.
Yes.
And Jerry Van Dorp were like brothers.
Yes.
And Max was kind of against the IH red theory of
he was
lightweight. He didn't. Why do
he
you
wanted
have
a
to-
heavy super.
Yeah, why do you have to do this, you know? And I remember so well, under the IH housings, when Jerry got his, I got a call from Max.
Okay.
That I can't believe we drilled all them holes in that thing, and that's gonna work. You know, I said, we haven't had one break yet, you know? And so then that kind of broke that ice and made that deal. So then next thing that D21 was in the 7,500
Yes, it
pound class.
was.
Pretty strong too, but Jerry we were good friends, yeah. I made his sheet metal and did all the rear end of the hollow axles, the bow gears, all that good stuff. Yeah, played it all up there. And he ran that tractor in the 7, 9, and 12.
12. I was going to say 11.
11-2, I think it was, in Michigan. And I talked to him when he was still pulling yet. He was starting to go the other way with how it was.
Yep.
And I said to him, I said, there's a recall on the Maxes. And he goes, Jerry, look, Siggy, and he goes, what do you mean, Mark? I said, well, I want them back.
I want them back.
Yeah, and he said, you know what? You're not getting them back. They haven't been the best ones you ever had. So
that's awesome.
But anyhow, yeah. So yeah, he was a good guy. I miss him. Yeah. Miss him all, but yeah.
Yeah.
But
okay, so we're late 90s now.
Yeah.
Where are we at with your tractor?
We kind of.
You always
We
did
took
you
a
have a
break.
tractor every year on the track?
No. I took a break for when I sold the weapon over to Europe.
Okay.
My daughter would have been 1-year-old, 2-year-old, and then Tyler came along in 80. She was born in 88. Tyler was born in 92. I probably shouldn't give her away her age. I just
That's
made it
okay.
up.
She's married.
She's all right.
Yeah, she'll be all right.
Yeah. Anyhow, I remember we were going to Tillman, Wisconsin, and one was balling on that side of the truck, and the other one was balling on this side of the truck, and they couldn't get to go live.
Man, this is fun.
And and I thought, oh boy. So anyhow, after that, I sold the tractor. So I actually sat out. I didn't have a tractor for 13 years of my own.
Really?
Yep. Until Tyler got older and Jessica got older. So
But you were working on
I was
stuff.
involved with it all the time.
Because you ran around with Esden and all that, right?
We traveled together in 93, 94, 95.
Okay.
The NTPA circuit. Yeah. So anyhow then.
When did his King of Smoke nickname? Was he starting? Were they calling him back then?
No, that came along in, I don't know, early 2000s.
Okay.
Yeah.
After some championships?
Yeah. Yeah.
Some back-to-backs?
Back to back, yeah. Yeah. No doubt. Yeah. So then I started, well, I had a bunch of pieces yet, never did get rid of them. And started accumulating more stuff again, and started showing up at some of the polls, all-out polls, or Wayne, Nebraska, Carroll, Nebraska, and these guys would see me and they go, what are you doing here
What's
again?
Ulmer doing here?
So then we were challenged to build another weapon.
Okay.
Is what it was in the 6,000 pound class.
Okay.
And me and Esmond had started that project, and actually Larry Richland was against us because he thought somebody's going to die out of that deal. And I just kept with it, and so then we debuted the weapon in 2009.
2009. Okay.
And in the 6,000 pound class, it would have been 62, I think, back then, with 4 turbos on, with 1,000 pounds of little boy. And everybody just
Thought you were crazy.
crazy, and it can never last, and it's going to break, and wasn't safe, and all that. And that one has done quite well.
Yes, it has.
It's done very good.
Yes, it is.
So then at the same time, Tim Gieseker.
Yep, I recognize the name.
Redline Fever Light.
Yes.
That Esmond built, passed away from cancer.
Okay.
And then I ended up.
Secondhand smoke now, right?
Yeah, is that that's Red Light Fever 2.
Okay.
You said,
No.
yeah, Red Light Fever Light.
It's actually lost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I bought it from his widow.
Okay.
And so one day I had one pulling tractor in the corner, and the next day I had 2.
And it happens like that?
And it happens like that, yeah. So then we campaigned that as a diesel solution.
Okay.
And put the we had a good time. Everything worked good. Tyler was coming along. Tyler's first experience driving a pulling tractor was a 4-Charger diesel.
He's a lucky young man.
It probably wasn't the best thing to do. But actually, he had an 806. I had an 806.
Okay.
And we did a little country farm pulling, you know, and stuff. And he actually told me one time, he goes, Dad, he said, I really like driving the 806 better than Wops. And I said, really? Well, good. Then I get to drive it.
Yep.
So, but that only lasted one time or twice. And we're going to get Wops in the corner of the barn.
Is it? I was going to ask you.
We're bringing her back out. Yep. So I finally got all those other parts. Now we'll come back. It could be either an unlimited light zipper or a diesel.
Okay.
We'll be able to run both ways.
That's a full component.
Yep. Yeah. And then probably that was getting to the end of doing a lot of other complete tractors and stuff like that. Anyhow, then we one day I asked my wife, the mini rod thing was starting.
Yes, I forgot about this.
You know, and it goes back to a long story. In the mid-'80s, I pulled 3688 at Ulmer, Wisconsin.
Okay.
And it had rained actually in the mud, and it ended up that medium biggie was right beside each other.
Wow.
And I would look out my trailer, and he was actually in the little enclosure kind of pickup deal.
Yep.
And him and Kona.
Yep.
And I looked down at that mini rod, and I go, I gotta have one. It was just beautiful.
Yeah.
Because his workmanship on it was all funny car related. You might have a dragster,
Yep.
NHR related. So all the brackets were cheap, billet, cool, and all this stuff. And he ends up, we all know Kenny knows how to build a motor.
Yes.
And we ended up, he pulled it in afternoon, and he ended up laying it on his side.
Really?
That mini rod. So I'm I'm not afraid to help anybody or tell them what I got. Most of them don't believe me. That's most of it.
Yeah.
But I helped him carry it back to my trailer, or back to his trailer, which was right beside ours, and it sat right in between us. And he was looking at it, and I was saying, hey, did he help me here? Well, we got to straighten this hair out somehow, we got to do this, you know. So I got my hands on his mini rod way back then.
Nice. Was it the little funny normal back then?
No, it didn't have the grill.
Okay.
No. And anyhow, he got it dead, and next week we went to the barn. And I told my family, I got that one, you know.
But that would have been 5 years ago?
Yeah, I was there on your maiden voyage.
Yeah.
We were on the
Yeah, we were down in Manila.
Yep.
So then one day I told my wife, what do you think about a 60-year-old guy, or a 60-year-old guy getting the mini rod, you know? Because I always knew you wanted one. And you know, from watching you all those years, at least when you roll this one over, you'll be close to the ground. And I said, so that's a yes?
That's a yes.
And she
That's as close to a yes as you're going to get older.
And she goes, well, do I have any choice? No, I said, I'm leaving tonight to pick it up tomorrow.
Where would you
I
buy
bought
that
it from Dale Timberman.
Dale Timmerman. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's what it was. And then
You had that for 2 years?
just a year and a half.
And where's that at now?
It's back to
got it
Dale
back.
Timberman.
Dale's got it back. Does he run WTPA with it?
Oh, they took the motor all apart, two-wheeler.
Yep.
They didn't chassis, just
Motor in the- Yeah, one day, you know, the class never really took off in Outlaw. Everything wasn't bad, but it wasn't going to go anywhere because of the sled deal and the promoters. And then COVID comes along. And so Kurt Benby calls me in the morning and says, sorry for your luck, but we ain't going to have any mini rod class. Well, that's fine. I'll go other places. Well, we don't want that either. We want you to stay in Outlaw, you know. And that afternoon, I get a text message from Dale Timberman. Hey, would there be any chance I could buy my mini rod back? Because I really miss it. And I texted back, your timing is impeccable. It's perfect. And I told him, I tried to be straightforward. I told him, you're unbelievable because I just had a call that mini rods aren't going to happen anyhow out our way. And I said, yeah, I'll sell it back to you. You know, but it was the old deal, you know, you always got to take less.
Yep.
You know, so when he picked it up, him and his boy picked it up, I said, you know, if we do this 5 more times, Dale, I get it for free.
So we'll keep track, because we're going to try to get those mini rods back. So.
But we are building a new mini rod.
You are.
Yes, we are.
For you?
Yeah, I'm gonna drive it, hopefully. Yeah.
Has it got a 4B Cummins in it?
It's gonna have a Hemi with a turbocharger. Yep. With a whole redesigned driveline rear end.
Oh, I can't wait.
Unheard of.
I can't wait.
Anyway, we're hoping it works.
Yep.
But we're gonna
You'll
try.
figure it out.
Yeah, we're gonna try.
So what's in the shop right now that you can tell us about?
Oh my. Oh.
Let's rattle it off.
Okay, you want to start in this corner here?
I do. Let's start this corner.
There's a John Deere
Okay.
Cast Light Super getting built.
Okay.
That's an LP burner.
All right. And that's like a light super for the Outlaws?
For Outlaws.
When you say cast. Yep.
Yep. Lost is next in front of it.
Okay.
Getting rebuilt and lightened up. Right beside it's the mini rod.
Okay.
Right beside it's the new Alice Chalmers.
Okay.
And then, like when we get home after tonight from this great hole here in Colorado,
Yep.
the weapon and the Ford will all be in it.
Yep.
And the building's only 50 by 50.
Yeah, that's tight.
And there's two
CNC machines.
a radial arm drill, a shaper, and numerous others.
How's Tyler fitting around those?
Yeah,
That's why he went on a diet, isn't
Yeah, that's right.
Yep,
Yeah,
so he
yeah,
can fit in there and work.
Yeah, yeah. You might say it's past.
Is there still another diesel Alice in the shop?
We said the ones we can talk about.
Okay.
The ones
There
we can
is.
talk about.
Yeah. No, there is. Yep. And I just had a call from that nice young man. We all know Brian Schrammick.
Oh, he
And-
said it! He said it!
He wants it. He wants it next year. So we're gonna try to get that done for him. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So anyhow, yep.
Where'd Eleanor come from?
Eleanor was Brian Bowles'.
I know the name.
Alter
Haley's
Ego.
Comet. Alter
Haley's
Ego.
Comet.
Haley's Comet.
He,
Okay.
he is alter ego now.
Yeah, I watched that thing run at Kemper. Just blast them out there. Was that you driving it
No.
back then? That was Boyle's.
Well, it depends what year. Tyler drove it one time and put her way up in the pile.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brian
we
had it.
we
That
had
was a Mondovi built tractor.
Okay.
Yeah, we had it. We pulled against it for years with the weapon. When we
Okay.
built the weapon, and I always told him I looked at the back end of that thing so long because he would beat us quite often. So, but we had great competition between us
Okay.
and everything. And what
You need that.
Yeah, I love it.
Competition makes you better.
Ooh, I love it. Yeah. And anyhow, we just kept working and getting better and better, and then we'd end up beating him, and then we beat him a few more times, and then he got to the point where he didn't know what to do anymore, and we were driving by him, and we left Warrensburg, Missouri one night. We had beat him 2 nights in a row down there, and I told Tyler on the way home, I bet you Monday we're gonna get a phone call to buy the Ford, and it happened, and we ended up buying it, made a deal with Brian, and ended up buying it.
Nice.
And it's been
It's been a great tractor too.
yeah, we had
I mean,
to do
it
a lot
just picks up
of
the
work
front end.
to it, but yeah, we changed a bunch of stuff on it and made it better, we think. And yeah, it's had a fantastic career with us.
Yes, it has. Do you have a nemesis over the years? Like just like one guy that you just knew you couldn't get?
The guy we're in his trailer.
Yeah, Doug Meisinger?
Yeah, I got to know him in 2012. We met at Tucker's School.
The indoor one?
Yeah.
Shipshawana or Gordyville?
Gordyville.
Gordyville.
Yeah, we met there, and he was real intrigued, and so I've worked with him a little, and he's excellent on his own, but we worked together, and then when he moved to the new step, the Moline, that is High-Strung's old chassis.
Oh, okay.
I had bought High-Strung's old
Chassis.
component tractor
Okay.
as an Alice Chalmers,
Okay.
and I sold that chassis to Doug here, and he put that together, and we competed against each other. Well, then I moved classes.
Yep.
But and I think it irritates him that he can't beat me yet. Because I've heard it more than once from his wife and everything. You got to come back to the diesel super.
Yeah.
But boy, it'd be a handful.
Yeah,
he would be a challenge.
He's
He's got-
on
he's
top
got a
of his
program.
game.
Yeah.
He's on
And
top of his game.
he's such a good guy. He just lives and breathes it. He loves it.
Well, in Wisner Friday night when we came over like at 1 in the morning and
Yeah.
Esden was in there
Yeah.
and you were in there and Frankie and Goodwins and it was like, holy
Yeah.
cow, Doug was like, this is like a Hall of Fame type of thing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
pretty neat.
that was a neat deal.
It
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Dagenhart's.
yep, I forgot about Bill. Yep.
Yeah.
Zach was there. Yep.
Yeah.
That was neat. It was neat. The diesel supers are always going to be special to me because pulling, that's what made diesel tractor pulling huge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
They make tractor pullers
yeah, huge.
because,
There used to be 40 or 50 of them in a class.
we pulled a Toma one time in the 7,500 pound class, and there was 14 of us in the pull-out. You ran twice and didn't get a check. 2 tractors didn't get a check. They paid 12 places.
Wow.
And we'd go to Bow and Grain, and there'd be 56 of us,
Yep.
in the class. And it's like, wow, you didn't even realize.
A lot of those older videos, I catch a lot of D21s.
Yeah,
a lot of
D21s.
D21s.
A lot of everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, neat stuff. Fun times, unbelievable. And we were blessed enough to be in the top 10 of that.
Yeah.
And then we moved to the top 5 of it, and then it just kept getting a little better. So we've been really blessed. Our career's been really blessed.
Thank you for all that you've done for the sport of pulling. Because you're nice to everybody.
We try to be.
And that's nice. People don't give enough credit for nice.
Yeah.
That goes a long ways, Mark.
Yeah.
So, and you're willing to help anybody anytime. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I just heard a story how you helped Boyson get that thing figured out.
So a little. Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah.
He don't listen good though.
No. That's his own fault.
He still likes to hit his head on the roll bar.
He does. Well, it wakes him up, I think.
I can fix that for him. But he's getting a lot better.
Yes, he is. No, it's great.
He's come a long ways.
So do you have any Grand National titles?
No, best I ever did was 3rd. Yeah.
With the
That would have
weapon?
been the weapon.
Okay.
When me and Essen were together. Yeah. Yeah, the best I did was 3rd. And then I got out of it.
Anybody else in the trailer have a question for Mark Ulmer before we wrap it up?
So,
Jeanette, you got anything?
Just when's he coming back together?
yeah. Soon enough. Yeah.
Soon enough.
Yeah.
Soon enough.
Yeah. So,
Well, Mark, I need to go announce a tractor pull.
yeah, that's some of it. There's still a lot more.
No, I know. Well,
It's unreal.
we're going to do this take 2. We're going to do this. When's your birthday thing? We're doing?
October 15th.
Yeah, we need to get out there. So
Yep.
Figure this out.
Yep.
That
That's
might be a
what
trip
we're
for you and I.
Oh, he invited me.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
going.
You're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got there and promoted. So.
Yeah.
Mark, thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you for watching this episode of Behind the Helmet with Mark Ulmer. This is going to be part 1. Part 2 is coming soon.
Super stock, folks, 6,200 pound multi-charger. Mix it with the diesels, mix it with the alcohol. First one out is going to be Mark Ulmer with the weapon out of Minnow, South Dakota. And basically,